this is the Akko ACR Pro 75. But really, this is just an overall ACR Pro thingy. But this is it. Pretty packaging, let's get it opened. Also, new house. You want me to do a full house tour? Comment that below. If we get enough comments, then we'll do it, but let's jump into it. Also, if you wanna check this out, there's Akko links below where you can get it directly. Opening this up, I love the packaging on the ACR series. This is probably other keycaps, I'm assuming, and then here we go. This is kind of like a custom pre-built, because it's like a pre-built, but it's also a custom that you could have gotten, but right in top, interesting. Okay, this is a polycarbonate plate, but it's also a pre-built, so this is like, I don't know, I like it so far. Also, we can see gasket mounted. We got those gasket mounting points for either rubber or whatever foam or something like that, but this is a very flexy polycarbonate plate. I love it. But let's continue on. Then we have the board itself. Now, I've used some of the ACRs. Some of them have just like layers, like a Wamier K66 or K84, and then some of them have a more solid case. So like this is a one-piece bottom and a one-piece top. Now, I've seen from YouTube, I think that the one-piece or two-piece cases actually sound a little bit better, but as you can see here, that's the only seam right here, and the edges are more rounded. As you can see, the edges are more rounded. This feels very, very good. I think I prefer this over the typical like multi-level stacked approach. And then in this box, I'm assuming this is gonna be spare keycaps. Oh, we actually get a coiled cable. It's a coiled cable, it's nice. It's what we saw on the Mod 007 V1. I don't know if the V2 had that. It's a nice one. It's better than having just a typical USB-C in there, so I like that. Then we have a ton. Oh, this is interesting. I actually know what this is right away. Akko's done this before on some of their other keyboards pre-built. So these are Akko's own ASA profile keycaps. You get a ton of value because of that. These are actually really good mid-level keycaps. However, they also give you the entire set. So you get all of the space bars, all the different widths, everything basically that you want. We have stuff for a number pad. Even though this doesn't have any of it, they give you the full set of keycaps, which is absolutely fantastic. So let's put all these aside. We also have the black modifiers, the novelties up there, very cool. I think we're gonna do that right away. And then as you can also see, you have Option Command. Akko's actually started to be doing Mac layout stuff. So we have the command and stuff like that, which is very, very cool. So you get a full set of ASA profile keycaps when you get this. That's even more value than it used to be. Continuing on, we have some rubber. These are those gaskets that we saw in the Mod 007 V2. So for gasket mounting it, it's like these rubber pieces, and I prefer these for one single reason. I haven't done a lot of testing on the sound itself, but these are so easy to take on and off. As you can see, putting that right on, so easy. That's so freaking easy. So for that reason alone, it is my favorite. Then we also have flip up risers that you can stick onto the back of this because the back is pretty flat except these two little rubber risers. But if you do want a bigger riser right there, 2-stage, you can flip those onto the back if you want to. I'm not gonna do that today, but you can definitely do that if you want a higher kind of tilt. But I think this is pretty good for me. Now also in the box, this is something we haven't seen before. Akko's giving you first a hex wrench that is correct to these gold screws back here, which is very nice. That's very nice to see in the box. But now they're giving you a nice switch puller. I've never seen this on an Akko board before, and it's slightly Akko branded right there, hard to see, but yeah, overall it's nice. The quality is definitely getting up there, which is really cool. It was already high. Okay, so right away, let's get a quick sound test with this mic. So up here, okay, overall, stabilizers. Number one, all of these stabilizers, fantastic. They tuned them really well. There's no rattle. There's a little bit of stuff going on here, but it's not that big of a deal. Way better than something like Keychron has been doing, even though they've been doing a really good job. Now, I know these are gonna be Akko's own switches, and they are the new ones. These are the clear ones. What is the name again? The crystal, yeah, the crystal ones. So these are the new switches. I don't know if they're lubed or not. They don't sound like it, but let's get these out. So these are the new clear or crystal keycap switches. I almost said keycaps. These are a linear switch, and these are not lubed, and they are pretty smooth. A tiny bit of scratchiness, but really very good. And it sounds and feels really good for not being lubed. Now I'm gonna say, these are north-facing LEDs. It is compatible with 3 and 5 pin switches, but they are north-facing LEDs. However, not too big of a deal, just are a little bit behind the trends recently. Okay, but they also give you this USB-C. I'm not sure why, because there is a USB-C right there. I don't know if this is just an extra one, but I'm down. Let's get this thing open and see what it's about. All right, opening this up, we have our little hex wrench right here, nice gold screws. All right, and the last screw, let's get this off. I'm gonna do it from the top because it's a little bit more dramatic and I like that. Okay, so lifting it off the top, there we go. This is a very nice solid piece of polycarbonate. Let's move to the side. At least I believe that's polycarbonate. Okay, one cool thing right away. So here are the gaskets. Oh, don't wanna rip that USB-C. I don't know if you can see that, but it's a silver plate back there and it looks really good. I really like the silver plate. That's a nice touch, especially with a clear board. However, we're gonna have to switch it to the polycarbonate plate. Now let's flip this up. I will say not a long cable for the USB-C, but we got it out pretty easily. Okay, so right on the back, we've got a few things. There is what looks to be like EVA foam for the back. This was a fairly dampened keyboard. I don't know if I want it totally dampened. Might keep this one and then take out the foam between the plate and PCB. But this is very nice. This is nice that it's all high quality and stamped. If you like a dampened sound of keyboard, then this is great. Right in the bottom, you can kind of see and feel the machining. I don't know if that picks up on camera, but this case is very high quality. It's nice and thick. The edges are nice and thick. I have no complaints. This is high quality. And for a price tag of $120, I think it'll be right here if it's not, but it'll also be right here if it is. So that's cool. But you're getting $60 value with those keycaps, and you're getting a full set of keycaps. And the ACRs by themselves, the DIY kits, are almost like that. This is, I wanna say this is a custom, but it just comes in kind of pre-built fashion. Okay, so right away, we've got this on the back. Let's continue opening this up. We're gonna take off all of these rubber gaskets, which are absolutely fantastic. Best gaskets in the game, just because of how easy they are. All right, now we're gonna remove all of the keycaps. Okay, so right away, taking these off, I noticed from the beginning that these stabilizers have been changed. The color has been changed. I don't know exactly what's been changed, but I'm gonna say this right away. The tuning is getting better and better with all of the Akko stuff. They originally had these like purple stabilizers that were very good and much better than their just, you know, cheap stabilizers. These are even better. They look like they're a little bit tighter, and I'm gonna tell you they're tuned very nicely. Now the spacebar, it's pretty dang good, but it could be a little bit better. But again, that's a slight amount of tuning. But these keys, fantastic, really fantastic for a pre-built. But again, this is not just a pre-built, it's a pre-built custom. All right, guys, and there we go. This looks so cool with the crystal switches on the like silver aluminum. It looks very cool. I don't know if this is aluminum or steel. I think it's aluminum. I'm not sure though. However, these switches on the polycarbonate plate is gonna be so freaking cool. So let's take these switches off, see what's underneath, and then let's do that very thing. All right, guys, and all of those are off. Now we have a few screws right here. All right, unscrewing these. Okay, this is kind of weird. They're kind of connected to something underneath, like a flathead, almost like a bolt. It's kind of strange. Oh, it's like standoffs. They're like standoffs, kind of weird. So you kind of have to hold the back while you're doing this, but then taking the plate off, nice plate, not too thick, but again, we're gonna use that polycarbonate plate. Not this one, although there's nothing wrong with this. But then, so here we have these kind of like standoff things with the flathead on the back, kind of interesting. So that's what those screw into. And then we have, this is actually pour-on foam, which is a higher quality foam that companies have been using recently, and Akko's been using it recently, but this gives a more poppy sound rather than just like a dampened sound. So that is cool, but again, I'm gonna take this out, I think. Yeah, I think so. But then here we have the PCB, and again, like the Akko Mod 007 V2, this also has that white rubber over it. I don't know if that's for vibrations or overall dampening to each switch, but it definitely does some stuff because it's very cool. It's amazing how much they give you for $120. 60 of that is just these keycaps right here. That kind of value, pretty dang insane. That means the board, the foam, the stabilizers, all of this, including the case and the switches, which are nice Akko switches. And I'm actually really digging these crystal ones. That means all of that is $60. Let's say each pack of these is $12 and you need 2 packs. That's $24, which means $36 is just the board itself. That's what it would cost you to get this as a separate DIY kit. the value here is ridiculous because typically those DIY kits were anywhere from $80 to $100, maybe a little bit over that. So you're basically getting them for $36. That's pretty nuts. However, we're gonna mod this just a little bit like we always do because most of this stuff doesn't need a whole lot of modding. We'll be right back. We'll see how good these crystal switches really are, but so far I'm impressed. Let's do it. And guys, we are back. All the switches are now lubed 6 hours later. But yeah, now they're all lubed, let's get them on the board. But before we do that, a very cool thing with the PCB. Now, if you look very closely here, this is actually compatible with screw-in stabilizers. Now, it doesn't come with screw-in stabilizers. It comes with plate-mounted stabilizers, but the plate-mounted ones are so good, you would be pressed hard to want to get screw-in stabilizers and then lube them and mod them and everything to make them sound like those. I mean, you could do it, but it's like, why if they already come that well done? So, all right, but let's get to modding. We're gonna keep this like kind of a rubbery thing on top, and I wanna keep this on the back. It's also gonna match very nicely with the clear case, but we are gonna do PE foam because it's a must at this point, guys. All right, grabbing the self-healing board and our X-Acto knife. Let's get this cut out for the plate. All right, there we go. Now we're gonna cut off these stabilizers where the stabilizers sit. All right, now we're ready to go. We're gonna grab our polycarbonate plate. This is what we're switching to. And we're gonna pop our stabilizers out. We're not modifying these stabilizers at all. I think they're good enough. Spacebar can be tuned a tiny bit, but I don't wanna have to relube everything, so we're gonna stick to those. I will say these are very nice and tight in the plate, which is awesome. And that's true amongst both the metal plate as well as the other one. I mean, these are pretty dang tight. They do not wobble at all in the plate. And I do feel like I have to say this for any of you newbies out there. There's nothing wrong with being a newbie, but screw-in stabilizers are not always better. These are better than like stock screw-in stabilizers you'd get on like a Keychron. Not that Keychrons are terrible, but they're just not the best. But these plate-mounted ones are better than screw-in ones that are bad. All right, now with all of these stabilizers in, let's get our PCB and our PE foam, slap this on there, line all of that up, very nice. And then time for switches. Now I like to put in the stabilizers first, but in this case, it's a little bit tough, so we're gonna go towards the top. Now I've ran into issues before with the PE foam and this little rubber pad. It does take up some space, and I think this is also a thicker PE foam, so we're just gonna do one layer. Now let's get all these switches put in. We forgot to do the standoffs. We're doing the standoffs. All right guys, and the last switch, here we go. There we go, all in, looking absolutely icy. Let's get to it. Okay, first thing to do, we're gonna take these little rubber gaskets and put them over. I love this part because it's so freaking easy. There's no sticking involved. Everything looks better, fits better. I love it. Akko, thank you for doing that. And everyone that calls me an Akko fanboy, yeah, that may be true. I don't know. And bobble ding, bobble doom, there we go. All right, now, what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna keep this on the base. Now, one thing that I do wish, and if Akko, if you're listening, this is what I would switch in the future. Instead of putting the pour-on between the plate and the PCB, do something like a cheap EVA foam and then do this on the base. That's what I would prefer, but we're still gonna keep this one for matching with that white because we don't want black on the bottom of the case. That'll look weird. So we're gonna take this, put that on the bottom, and I think that we're ready to put the case together now. First, we have to connect the USB. So let's do that. It's a pretty tight connection, but we're gonna have to angle the case up just a little bit. Actually, we're gonna undo it. That's too tough and I don't wanna break the wire. All right, and that's all in nice and tight. Now we're gonna attempt to screw this back down, which I think they give you just enough space. All right, we're good there. Placing this into the case. Oh, very nicely, very snug, very pretty. We're gonna clean this up on the edge, not cutting the wire, hopefully. All right, take the top piece of the case. We're gonna place it back down here. We are almost done, guys. And we're gonna see how those lubed crystal switches are. Very cool. Now screw this baby back down. Oh, I'm so excited. All the screws are done. Let's get the freaking keycaps on, guys. First, we're gonna start with the black modifiers. And guys, now all of those keycaps are on. It looks good, but it doesn't really look that different. The thing is, how does it sound? Let's see. I'm nervous, but let's see. Okay, ready? Those lubed crystal switches. Obviously, a full sound test is gonna be at the end, but that is pretty good. For whatever lube costs, whatever brushes cost, you'll probably be able to find some PE foam, and then $120, that's the price right there. Akko link below. Do I think it's worth it? Yeah, absolutely. Now, this case isn't for everyone. If you want a metal case, this isn't it. I mean, this thing is fairly light. However, the sound profile I don't know if I would put the PE foam in there next time. I think I would lube the crystals, not do the PE foam. I might even include this and then tape mod the back of it, remove the foam. That's what I would do next time. But let's get it plugged in. But to see this, we're gonna go to the other room. Mic change, let's go. You guys are gonna see a little sneak peek of the house. It's pretty messy, but come on. All right, guys, let's turn this on. A little bit messy, but come on. All right, plugging this in with Akko's own cable. Pretty good, not the best, but pretty good for in the box with a 120 bucks, yes. Let's plug it in. There it is. Now, as you can see, it does have the case lighting around the bottom. Let's put it on the desk right here. And look at this thing, absolutely beautiful. Absolutely fantastic. But yeah, do I think this is worth it for 120 bucks? Yes, if you're gonna keep this keycaps, because that's what really brings the value to a huge scale. $60 keycaps, that's half the value right there, and you're not really paying for it. So the Pro Series brought it, although, again, I wish that pour-on was back here and the EVA foam was in the middle. But this was Consumer Tech Review. If you guys wanna check this out, there are Akko links below. I don't think you can get it on Amazon, but it's still in stock, and I think it's been in stock for a while, so maybe you'll actually be able to pick this up in stock for a while. I don't know, but this was Consumer Tech Review. Again, if you want the house tour, comment it below. If I get enough comments, I'll do it. But yes, get a little bit of a sneak peek, I guess. But this is Consumer Tech Review, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Also, more consistent videos, more than once a week will be coming, so yes, we've moved in now. It's super crazy, but we're gonna do it. All right, see you guys later.